not comply. So don't even think about it. We will not shut down our schools. We will not accept your lockdowns. We will not abide by your mask mandates, and we will not tolerate your vaccine mandates.
I want to thank President Trump and Elon Musk for allowing us to show this oxygen testing video. This is being presented by several oxygen testers. This information is to educate everyone on the oxygen levels under the mask. It is being delivered to you as a deposition of facts and can be used in any court or any other legal process, including class action lawsuits. You'll see for yourself live videos of people tested and their results, including how cotton lung disease fibers in the lungs inhaled into the lungs and death rates associated with mask mandates. As you see here, there are pictures of people in the hospital wearing masks without being oxygen tested. What are the levels under the mask? What damage is being done? As you can see here, this is oxygen levels we're testing under a young man about 14 years old. This mother is probably breathing roughly about the same. As you can see, the oxygen levels are not healthy for human environment. The alarms are going off. Carbon dioxide is high. Oxygen levels are low. Now this here is a picture of a child receiving some type of possibly chemo with a mask on. Now the mask is not giving them enough oxygen. And here, and there's another child with a mask on, not getting enough oxygen. All right, now this video, the young lady on the right is at a game by herself with her family. She's being dragged off because she doesn't have a mask. Dr. Fauci is within a couple of feet with no mask at a game, and he's not being dragged off. So why is the left side with Dr. Fauci okay, and a woman sitting beside herself with her family with no mask on is being dragged off, being wrestled to the ground, where even the mask of the police officer comes off while he's physically abusing her? In what world is this even correct? So I'm going to let this video on the right play out so you can see how much physical contact is being made with this young lady, young mom, for not wearing a mask. There's no physical contact being made with Dr. Fauci and this other girl beside her who is not related to him without wearing a mask. Let that sink in for a minute. How is you, as a police officer, do you do that? What mindset do you have that you've been told that it's okay to beat somebody up because they don't have a mask on? When the oxygen levels clearly below the mask start to suffocate the human being. And yet the person who's enforcing the law or creating the situation is Dr. Fauci, who doesn't have a mask on, and nobody's arresting him. But he is protected by, guess what? U.S. Marshals. U.S. Marshals protect Dr. Fauci. He has a detail of U.S. Marshals to protect him while he's not wearing a mask. And this poor woman is being handcuffed and dragged off for not wearing a mask. In the process of doing it, this guy's getting closer to her than he ever would. Even his mask is falling off, and they're actually exchanging bodily fluids. He's spitting on her while he's trying to arrest her. He's getting exhausted and putting his oxygen all over her. And this next video, this young lady is coming up out of the train station or somewhere in New York, I believe. She doesn't have a mask on. It's pulled down to her chin. These cops are going to wrestle her to the ground in front of her child and force her to put a mask on. It's going to take how many of them wrestling with her, getting into close contact with her. But yet Dr. Fauci on the left has no mask, and neither does the other person beside him. So how does that work? The guy who says you have to wear a mask tells the police to arrest everybody who's not having a mask, and now you're arresting a mother in front of her child because she doesn't have a mask, right? And even the police officer's mask usually come off in this wrestle. It makes no sense. How you as a police officer, what was your educational training to arrest people because they don't have a mask on? I've shown you what the oxygen levels are below the mask. They're not sustainable for human life. They're the wrong mask. And the child is in front of her seeing her mom arrested for not wearing a mask. What is wrong with this picture? Who told the police to do this? Yet Dr. Fauci has no mask. Where are the cops arresting him? Where are they? They're nowhere. And who protects him? The U.S. Marshals are his protection team. We protect this guy who started the mask mandate. On the left, when the cameras are on, he's got a mask. When the cameras are off, he doesn't have a mask. Why isn't he being arrested and dragged down? Why? This mom is being wrestled to the ground for not wearing a mask. Took how many cops to wrestle her to the ground to put a mask on, Dave? And who's going to take care of her child now that she's being arrested? Okay, now in this next segment here, we're showing you oxygen levels in the human body. Non-maskers, you will inhale. Your lungs will be normal, pink in color, normal size, no inflammation, dome-shaped diaphragms. Maskers' lungs, you're going to be inhaling CO2 because you're inhaling your exhaust air. H2S, CO, and you're also going to be inhaling the cloth fibers from the mask, gray or black lung damage, hyperphonated patches of inflammation, diaphragm, muscle loss, difficulty of breathing, and tremors, pulmonary, all internal organ damage, edema, and death. So you see, putting a mask on or wearing the incorrect mask, you are re-inhaling the same exhaust you're exhaling, all right? Now, between 30 and 180 seconds of oxygen deprivation, you may lose consciousness. At the 1 minute mark, brain cells begin dying. At 3 minutes, neurons suffer more extensive damage and lasting brain damage becomes more likely after 5 minutes. Death becomes inevitable. Now this is a GFG gas meter. It reads the levels. It reads carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, air that we breathe, and hydrogen sulfide. Now outside, when I reset these, it always come up 0.04 when I turn them on. That's carbon dioxide outside. Air that we breathe can be between 19.5 and 21.9. This one was the oxygen level outside in this area is 21.8 today of oxygen. And the other composition, we're going to scroll down. Okay, so we're going to stop right about there. All right, now on the left is the air that we are inhaling. All right, so 78% of it's nitrogen, 21% is going to be oxygen. Other gases, argon, 1%. Carbon dioxide, 0.04. That's what we're inhaling on carbon dioxide, okay? Now, on the composition of exhaled air, if you smoke or if you cook around a gas range or something, you're going to check some levels on these, or if you have a wood stove, you're going to check carbon monoxide, somewhere around 7 parts per million under the mask, and you're going to be rebreathing that if you have a mask on, and if you also smoke. Now, nitrogen still is 78%. It will be displaced by other gases. And then you have oxygen, which is 16.4%. You're exhaling. Other gases, 1%. Argon, 1%. Carbon dioxide, 4.4%. Hydrogen sulfide under the mask is going to be at different ratios, but it could be as high as 7%. Now, where does the hydrogen sulfide come? That comes from when we eat food. We also exhale that in our digestive tract. So that's got to be counted. Normally we wouldn't count that as air that we breathe, but because we have a mask on, it's not